Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you how to overhaul a hub on a real wheel and replace axle and the bearings inside. So before we start, please hit the subscribe button and enjoy the video. Firstly, we are going to take these nuts on the both sides. Okay, put them aside. The next one. Okay. Now we need to take this sprocket. This is Shimano sprocket, and you need a removal tool. There are different tools. This is standard for Shimano. There are some others. There are many others actually, but today we need this. I will put you a link in the description so you can buy it. These are pretty cheap. So we put it like this. This is 22 millimeters. This is extension I use, and I use this moment wrench. And then you need to push it down anti-clockwise. Sometimes this will be pretty hard depending on the state of your sprocket. Mine comes very easy. Okay. This is a Freewheel Shimano sprocket. It's pretty rusty, but I can clean it. It is in pretty good shape. You can see a tooth. They are not broken. That is good. Okay, put that aside. You can take this disc off if you have it. Now we are going to disassemble this hub. We need to take off this lock nut. I have a cone wrench. And a wrench 17, and I hold it like this and push my wrench down. Okay, take this lock nut off. We have a spacer over here. Put that aside. Now take off this cone. You need to hold the other side. Okay, this is cone. Now pull out the axle. We are going to disassemble only one side, and then we will measure some distance. So when we know a distance, then we can install a new axle. I will show it to you later. These are bearings we are going to replace. The other ones. And you can see this is a cup. We are going to clean it and then inspect it and search for damages. If there are no damages, then we can install new bearings and new axle. If it has damages, then we need to replace this whole hub. And the other side. Okay, now we are going to clean the cups. For that I use WD-40. And then we are going to examine the state of the caps. We are looking for damages. If there are some, like I said before, we will need to replace the whole hub. Dirty, dirty. Okay. This one is clean now. I don't see any damages. And that is a good sign. Okay, you can see threads here. This is a driver's side. On these threads we are going to install Freewheel that was here before, and with no threadings is non-driver side. Now let's clean the other side. Okay, let's see what we have here. There is some coloration, but inside is very smooth, so this will be okay too. Let's now clean this cone. This is from non-driver side. We need to examine the cones too. If they are bad, we need to replace them. So this one is pretty smooth. No need for replacement. This is old bearings that was in the bike, like you see before, and I bought a new one. So in my wheel I got bearings in the crown, but in most cases there will be just ball bearings without crown. So what you need to know to replace them? Firstly, you need to count them. If you have 8 ball bearings, you need to replace it with 8 ball bearings, and that ball bearings need to be the same size as the old ones. So this is about 6 millimeters. That is the old ones, and the new ones exactly the same. So you can see, if you want to replace them, you need the same number of bearings, of ball bearings, and the same size. You can't put smaller or bigger. It will not be good. And like I said, we are going to replace the axle. I have here the one I bought a long time ago, and it is perfect for replacement of this one. You can go to your bike shop, you bring the old one and say to them, I need axle like this, and they will give you the one that is good. What is important is firstly the length of the axles. This one is 3 millimeters shorter on the both sides, but this will be okay for me, because when I put a wheel with this axle on a bike frame, I have about 3.5 millimeters left space, so this will be perfect. And the next thing what is important is the width of the axle, so you measure it like this. You can see this is 9.1 or 2 millimeters, and this one is exactly the same. That is important because I will use my old cone, because it is good. I didn't have to buy it a new ones, which is also good for my pocket. And the next thing we are going to measure is a space from lock nut to the end of the axle. Okay, this one is 25 millimeters, so I need to put this lock nut, spacer and cone on this one, and 25 millimeters minus 3 millimeters is 22 millimeters, so it will go like this. Now let's take off this nut. Okay, let's take a new axle. Firstly, we are going to put a cone. So screw it all the way. When we put everything, we will see, do this cone must go down a little more or up. Okay, put the nut on and let's measure it. So it says 2.2, exactly what we need. Okay, now unscrew this cone and we are going to tighten this. So we need a cone wrench and wrench 17. Just tighten it, and this side is finished. Let's now put some grease, install the bearings and close it up. So put a grease inside the cups. Okay, just like this. On the other side too. Okay, that is good. Now we are going to grease our bearings. Okay, we can install them. Just put it like this. So the front side goes inside like this. Now the other bearings. Let's grease them good and install them. just like this. Now take the axle. We are going to put some grease on the axle. Okay. Now we are going to put this axle on the side where it threads. Okay, this is the driver's side. Okay, now flip it on the other side. Okay, now we are going to install the cone. You tight this only with fingers, don't tie too much because you can damage a bearings in the ride or cups, and that is a problem because you need to replace the whole hub then, so it's more expensive than just check it. So there are no movements, no wobbling. Let's put this spacer here and this lock nut. Now take cone wrench and wrench 17 and tight this. And then we check it, is it moving or it is too tight. Try to rotate it. So this goes pretty smooth. Okay, let's now install the sprocket. We are going to put some grease on the threadings. Now take the sprocket and just screw it clockwise. And you need this tool to tighten this sprocket. You have a link in description, so take it like this and just tighten it as much as you can. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see ya in the next video.